This is Lon Winters with Graphic Elephants.
This is Jimmy Lamp.
This is Matt Vassallo with the RhinestoneWorld.com.
And you're listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
And you are listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by...
My name is Terry Combs, RG, regular guy.
And Aaron Montgomery.
We're just regular guys having fun and trying to make a living in this really cool and exciting industry.
I think we all want to succeed 100% of the time.
Seek to understand before I try and make myself understood.
Bring a ton of great information.
Coming to you live from somewhere dark, dirty, and dank. All right, welcome into the show. It is Friday, October 7th, 2022. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at rsuccessgroup.com. So, Terry, today's a big day.
It is.
It's Reggie season. Yeah, you can see our new little background for Reggie season there. 10th year, unbelievable. We're all grown up.
10 years ago, we should do awards, but people awards, not purchased by contributing the most money awards.
Yes, exactly. So, and we've had a heck of a lot of fun with it. But I think really, Terry, and the spirit of it, and we'll talk about that more here as we get into it, but the spirit of it is really just to recognize people that have raised up the industry. And so I'm pretty proud of the platform that we've been able to put out there for recognizing new people. I think pretty much all 9 years so far, we've met somebody new. Right?
Absolutely. And heard some really great stories about how folks got into the industry and the contributions they're making that made people want to nominate them and vote for them. So I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty exciting stuff. And, not to say that we're old, Terry, but the fact that we're meeting new people and we've been at this as long as we have, that's pretty darn cool.
The term is veteran.
Oh, veteran. Yeah, yes. Thank you. Sorry.
Industry veteran.
Yeah. So today, Terry, we're going to actually announce the categories and just kind of go over the ground rules, review some of the previous award winners. But we also, here in just one moment, we've got a new segment coming up in partnership with some industry news outlets. And we've got our first participant, first victim. Oh, sorry, I meant, no, this is going to be awesome. Just wanted to kind of really bring in new information, make sure that, the Two Regular Guys continues to bring you all the information that we can. And we felt like partnering up with some people that do this and do it very well, actually, and doing a really good job of it, we'll bring a whole new segment here. So
helps us to want to step up our game as well. That's
right. After 10 years, right, you got to keep it fresh a little bit. So.
Exactly. I love this concept, by the way. This is good. This is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, you know what? Let's roll with that excitement. And we'll get to some of the comments here from the regulators in just a second. But let's go ahead and bring in our guest who's going to help us out here. And we'll introduce this segment. In the future, it'll be a little bit different, but we wanted to kind of introduce kind of the idea here a little bit. So, Eric, if you could bring in our guest, Cassie Green, from the Apparelist and Printing United and All World Everything. Cassie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm not doing great this morning. I'm not going to lie.
It hurts a little bit.
That was just painful to watch.
Oh, you guys, I don't know why I keep watching them.
Well, I'm a Chiefs fan, so there's that.
Oh, I might have to cross to the dark side, Terry. I might.
Oh, for sure. All right, Cassie. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. We kind of talked slightly around it here, but the idea here, Cassie, is, we want to keep the news items fresh. You guys are doing some amazing things. Let's be honest, most of the news items that we were sharing in this segment ourselves were, hey, let's go see what Cassie sent out. And we'll share that, right? So, but
that looks worth repeating, right?
Exactly. So, tell us a little bit about the Apparelist and kind of that newsletter and, I know you shared with me your kind of personal goals for it. So maybe share with our listeners kind of what your goals are there.
Yeah, absolutely. And first, congratulations, you guys. 10 years. That's huge. I mean, come on, we can't underplay that. So yeah, like we were saying, Aaron, some of my personal goals is just help lift this community up. And I think they align perfectly with your guys' personal goals,
Yep.
just because I know that's what you guys have worked so hard for over the years. We're here to bring the news, but more importantly, why it's important. I mean, why is it important that we talk about, apparel as a campaign program, or why is it important that we talk about, all this industry growth and all these good things? The goal of the Apparelist, our main mission statement is to lift up the decorated apparel community. What better way to do that than by sharing helpful content, good content, but also working with people like you guys, collaborating and really finding ways and understanding what the community needs. So, that's why I'm so excited for this segment. And I don't know if all of you listeners out there saw it, but Aaron actually joined me this week on our newsletter because we recognize that we have like this good, we can help each other, right?
Yeah, totally.
So we can bring some good stuff too. And I think this is a really exciting collaboration.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like you said, it's about kind of lifting each other up. I think you have done an amazing job giving a voice to the decorators out there too, and all the different segments that you're doing and stuff like that. So as Nikki Ademkowitz just said, community all the way. So
Yes, amen to that.
I think I even got her last name right, Terry, by the way. So
I know that's pretty impressive, and we need to say it again later on when we talk about past winners. So
yes, exactly.
Good practice.
Good practice. Good practice. All right. Well, Terry, any questions that you had for Cassie before we let her hit this segment, and then.
Yeah, I don't have a question. I just want to say the first time I saw your broadcast presentation, I was like, wow, what a great format. I just love what you're doing over there. So congratulations to you.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Eric, we're going to make you push some buttons and get a little crazy, a little bit different here, but let's do this, and Terry and I will get out of the way.
Number one.
All right. Well, as I mentioned, I'm an NFL fan, football fan. And some of you might be wondering, what does the NFL have to do with clothing, right? Actually, a lot, as it turns out, especially these last couple weeks. So for those of you who might have missed it, my first headline this morning that I wanted to share is a couple weeks ago, Tom Brady, whether you love him or hate him, he makes the news and we all have to talk about him. Tom Brady wore a shirt before a game that actually had his high school image on it. And my first reaction was, wow, what a vain thing to do. But really, it's actually branding genius. So the headline is Tom Brady wore this shirt with his high school likeness on it, released it under his Brady brand clothing collection, and then it promptly sold out, like within days. So really good headline that I wanted to point out just because it's marketing genius, just goes to show you how valuable apparel can be as branded apparel and as like campaign pieces. So stick that in your back pocket. Next headline I wanted to share is actually a feel-good story. And this is something I really like to do often because who doesn't like the good news, right? There's so much bad news. Let's talk about the good news. So good news is, if you're not aware, it's Latinx Heritage Month right now. And that actually runs September 15th through October 15th. So it's going on right now. And there's a pair of South Texas entrepreneurs that originally released a t-shirt that was really empowering the Latina community. Well, Target reached out to them and said, hey, we want to release a clothing collection in our stores that celebrates the entire Latinx community. So these two ladies, Gen Zeno Designs, they took what started out as just a basic t-shirt, basic pink t-shirt, and turned it into an entire clothing collection. My favorite part about this headline is that, again, clothing can be used to really establish brand equity. People use it to, align their personal beliefs. Again, just really cool ways to use apparel as a personal statement. Again, something that I think we need to pay attention to as apparel decorators. Then I know I don't want to take up too much time. I have one final headline, and it's actually a shameless plug. It's for Printing United Expo, which is actually happening in less than 2 weeks. So October 19th through 21st, Printing United Expo in Las Vegas. For those of you who are all of a sudden like, oh shoot, I'm having some FOMO, you can still register, still plenty of time. What's cool about this year's expo is there's going to be a massive presence for apparel decorators and some unique experiences that if you've attended a trade show in the past, you probably have not experienced what we are going to have this year. So we're going to have things like the apparel zone, Future State Theater, a podcast area, which you will see Aaron and Terry at this podcast area. So some celebrity sightings for you all. And yeah, so just really want to encourage any apparel decorators out there, printers, whatever you do, whatever you put ink on, make sure you're at Printing United Expo. Those are kind of my top headlines this month, but yeah, back to you guys.
For so there we go. Thank you, Eric, for unmuting me. I thought I got that, but Cassie, that was awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping for when you and I started talking about envisioning this. So thanks for that. And so again, real quick, people can subscribe to the Apparelist. They saw the link there. So just go to apparelist.com. It's subscribe, right? Is that what
Yeah. Super simple.
Awesome. And then one more quick plug about connected threads, not necessarily my episode, but just in general, that that people will get that if they subscribe, correct?
That's correct. And I definitely teased it, but you guys are going to be joining, or you're going to be joining us for connected threads going forward. So that's why you have to subscribe, because why would you want to miss out on popping by? I mean, come on.
That's right, popping in. And then you mentioned the podcast area there at the expo. I keep saying it, but I haven't done it yet. I got to print a sign that we're going to put up on the plexiglass that says "Do not feed the animals." So.
Also, wasn't there something about a blow-up couch? I mean,
there is going to be a blow-up couch, 100% for sure. I'm not sure. I actually have two of them. Crazy as that sounds, so we'll see. I might have both of them there. We'll see. Awesome. All right, Cassie. Thank you so much for your time today, and we'll look forward to seeing you in about another month. Talking again. Awesome.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
All right. That's awesome. I love that concept, Aaron.
Yeah, I do too. I love it. And Cassie does such a great job and just really kind of, we didn't know, right? We wanted to try something new. In fact, I was kind of getting that intro, outro thing together as we were getting ready for the show, right? So as it goes, things happen. So I think Cassie did a great job, though. So we'll continue to get better with that. And not only are we planning to have Cassie, but we have reached out to some of the other folks in the industry that are bringing news in. So we get a nice wide range of folks bringing you guys information and news. So coming up on the 28th, we're going to have Matt Dixon from Graphics Pro Expo joining us. And I still need to get things worked out with the folks over at Screen Printing Magazine. So,
well, they will, I'm sure they will be excited to do that as well, since they have such a new emphasis on garment decorating there. So new and exciting. So
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Terry, let's say hi to the regulators here real quick. We kind of didn't ignore them, but wanted to make sure that we got Cassie in and got to that this morning. So if we'll go back up to the top there, Eric, we've got Chuck. Good morning to everybody. We've got Mr. Todd Downing from Fat Dad Wholesale checking in. Cindy King. And Christine Shreve. Hey, Christine, good to see you. And Todd says, darn, no tuxedo shirt today. That's for the when we actually present the awards. We save that. But I do have a new Two Regular Guys shirt on today, so you can't really
look
see
at that
on the microphone.
Yeah.
But there we go. And Ramona says, the new Reggies are here. The new Reggies are here. In my best, the jerk voice. I love that.
I'm somebody.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. I knew that was coming. And then we also have Todd saying, you're 10 years older than when you started. So
wow.
Seasoned veterans. I don't know.
Oh, and it's October. So pumpkin spice is our seasoning for veterans this month.
I cannot stand pumpkin spice. All right, but Christine says, "Yay, Cassie! I always love seeing her. Yeah, she's really, really amazing." And David, I'm glad that you made it. Came in with your hair on fire, I'm sure. And yes,
David, what you don't know is so did we.
That's right. Okay, I was going to say something not so nice, so I'll keep it to myself. Sorry.
Everybody knows what you're going to say.
Wow. All right, we're a little slap happy here. But Nikki did say that she will be there at the booth too. Yeah, absolutely. Nikki will be coming by, hanging out, chilling on the couch, just chatting with people, bringing in the Sass Nation. So prepare to be sassed there, Terry.
Well, hey, Nikki, here's a heads up. When you relax on an inflatable couch, make sure you're not there alone. Somebody has to help you get out of that couch. And I don't care who you are.
They are a little tough to get out of, yes. When I tested it out when nobody was around one time, I then looked around to make sure nobody was watching as I rolled out of it.
I was just going to say you had to roll out, didn't you?
Yes, I did. All right. Well, we're getting a little crazy here, but let's keep that craziness going. We would never miss the dad joke, though. So, Terry, you've got a dad joke that's in season. It looks like here.
Exactly. It is spooky month, so I've got a spooky dad joke. So
Okay,
here it goes. Why is it cheaper to throw a party in a haunted house, Aaron?
I don't know why it's cheaper to throw a party in a haunted house.
Because the ghosts will bring their own booze.
That's
pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
I can't see Aaron. I can't see Eric if he's shaking his head or not. So
you got the thumbs up and the dual thumbs up and an applause on that one. So that
wow, awesome.
There you go. There you go.
All right, and didn't have to be explained. And in the chat over there. So all right, Aaron. Whoops. Before we dive into this any further, we want to thank everybody for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We are always looking for new guests. So if you or anyone you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys with your show ideas. If you're listening to the podcast version of the show, we would appreciate you sharing the Two Regular Guys with all of your industry friends so they can become regulators too. And we would appreciate you giving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Podcast, or wherever you do your podcast listening. If you're watching us live right now, please join in with your comments and questions. And this is a good opportunity to comment about the different categories we're going to be bringing up today.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you that just listened to the podcast version of this, throughout that little bit right there that Terry shares, I'm always silently giggling in the background because people are commenting and reacting to the dad joke. So
any worth repeating there?
Maybe a couple, yeah. And sometimes I'm not so good at keeping it silent either, so I apologize if you hear little giggles in the background. But Todd says that joke was ghastly. Okay.
Ghastly.
All right. Yeah. All right. That one was a little harder. Okay. Well, Terry, before we dive into the Reggies, like we talked about, it's Reggie season. It gets started officially today. I want to just share real quickly about a workshop that my wife and I do coming up here very soon. So let's share that, and then we'll get into the Reggies.
Hi, I'm Kylene.
And I'm Aaron from our Success Group.
We understand that feeling of knowing something is holding you back.
Are you watching others succeed and wondering what they have that you don't? There's a secret locked away inside of each of us, yet we never think about fixing it because it has to be something external from ourselves. It is the limiting belief that everyone wants to just push aside and try to hustle and grind harder to get there. But the truth is, those limiting beliefs are keeping you from asking for help or doing the action needed to move your business forward.
The sooner you can identify what's holding you back, the sooner you will start achieving your goals. Head on over to oursuccessgroup.com/unlock and click the turquoise button, Learn the Magic to Unlock Your Potential. We hope you make this investment in yourself and unlock your potential so you can find more meaning and success in your life.
All right, you guys, we'll check that out over there at oursuccessgroup.com/unlock. And we'd love to have you join us. Coming up on October 18th is the next date for that. So check that out. And I think we mentioned in there, but we do that once a month, different times and dates and stuff like that, just so we can try to catch everybody. We know that when people have an opportunity to do that, it is extremely helpful, useful. when I go through it. In fact, I still go back to it and work through some of that stuff myself. And once you've joined us once, by the way, a little secret that we don't always tell everybody, but once you've joined us once there, you're kind of a member for life, so to speak. And we invite you to come back anytime and go through it again if you want. Plus, you have access to the recorded version, all that stuff. So, yeah, good stuff there, Terry. Yeah. All right, dude. Are we ready? Are we ready for some Reggies?
I can't believe it's 10 years, man.
I know. It's time to flip the tails on your tuxedo back, Terry, and pull up here. 10 years, 10th annual REGGIE Awards getting started as of right now. So, Terry, before we get started, we do have some ground rules, and we put these ground rules into place last year to try to, every year I think we've gotten better at it, right? And just like everything.
and we've had some folks who kind of try to skirt the rules a little bit and flood the market.
Yeah. And so it's always been about getting back to what the spirit of the awards are, right? And the spirit of the awards is an opportunity for anybody who's doing something useful and helpful in this industry to get recognized. And so we've decided when we started this that we would take ourselves, right, this whole panel or I'm not talking down about other awards out there per se, but it can turn into the bit of the good old boys network. Who knows who and who's part of that committee at so and so that's making those decisions, right? And there's a place for that kind of stuff, right? We need to say, okay, who are the experts, and then let them tell us what's good and what they like, and that's perfectly fine. But we felt like there wasn't a place where I kind of call it like the People's Awards, Terry, right? And it's completely done by you guys, the listeners, right? You guys nominate. Yep. We just provide the platform. That's our only role. We, Eric, Terry, and I have one vote just like everybody else out there. And we do. We put in our one vote. In fact, the three of us always try to kind of put ours in as early as possible, just so, it's there and we're not being
swayed by all the other nominations.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Hey, Aaron, and let me jump in real quick and say, for anybody who doesn't know, REGGIE, RG, Regular Guys, the Regular Guys Awards. So that's what REGGIE stands for. Exactly.
And you got regulators and right. So that's perfect. So so we started the Reggies. And, like I said, over the years, people have figured things out, right? It can turn into a little bit of a popularity contest, and that's totally fine too, right? If you've worked hard enough to build up a tribe, a community of people that are following you, then absolutely you're doing something for the industry, right? So I think we need to recognize that. So anyhow, but what we did is we laid in some ground rules last year, and we're going to keep those ground rules going. And Todd just said that he actually named his dog Reggie as well after he won one. So that's how important these things are to folks. But so here's those ground rules, Terry, real quickly here for everybody. First and foremost, there are going to be 10 categories. And we feel like if you're going to take the time to nominate, right, if you want to recognize some people, that you should have a good understanding of the breadth of the industry. So instead of just, some influencer out there saying, hey, just go vote for me in this category, we need to have you put in individuals or companies in at least 7 of the 10 categories. So if your nomination comes through without at least 7 categories filled in, that nomination will be tossed. Right? So you have to fill in at least 7 categories. And if you just copy the same name into all 7 categories, that's going to be tossed too. So, yes, somebody might be worth nominating for multiple categories, and that's totally fine. But if you're, just again, copying and pasting the same name into 10 categories, then that's not the spirit of what we're trying to do. So that's the first rule, Terry. What, any thoughts or comments on that?
Well, I think that, and just like you said, I think that's it's important that it comes from the industry and not someone, again, who follows an influencer and that influencer says, "Hey, go to tworegularguys.com and drop my name in." That we want it to come from the industry, people who are actual participants in the industry and who've been motivated and inspired and want to share with the world that, who the best educator is or who gives the best customer service and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so the other part about that is, we do want the influencer to say, hey, go over to the two regular guys.
Oh, sure.
And then put in, who's helped you, right? If I've helped you in these categories, then that's great. But, there's there's more to it, right? So I guess that's just it, right? Look a little bit, put a little bit of effort into it. That's all we're asking for. Just a tiny bit of effort.
Just a little effort.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so that's the first rule. The second rule, and we didn't want to get a whole bunch of rules, so there's really only 2 rules here. The second, 3 rules, right? No, you don't talk
about Fight Club. Is that?
Yeah, that's not one of our rules. So we only have 2. So the second rule is, the second rule was to kind of encourage a wider range of participation from around the industry. And so what we've decided is that we would limit the nomination to a maximum of 2 categories per company or individual, right? So if they somehow get nominated in 7 categories, whichever they were the top nomination getter in whichever 2 they were the top nomination categories in the most, then they will only be in those 2 categories and they will not be available for those other categories. So I know that doesn't make a whole lot of specific sense, but the idea here is that we don't want it to be, 10 categories of the same person, right? Because again, the spirit is to recognize everybody that is giving back to this industry, right? So
exactly.
I'll read it one more time. We're limiting the nominations to a maximum of 2 categories per company or individual. In the case a company or individual receives nomination in more than 2 categories, the top 2 vote counts per category will be used. So, Todd, it may or may not be that, but yes, his comment was, yes, and Nikki says this way winners doesn't take all, right? Yeah. There's plenty of room for everybody. Because here's the other part. We've had that happen in the past, right? And then the person that was nominated reached out to us and was like, hey, you got to take me out of this. You got to take me out. Like, hey, we get it. And we appreciate that you understand the spirit of this. But we said we weren't touching this thing. We're not going to change anything. So we're like, next year we'll figure this out. And so I think we figured it out.
It's been an evolution over 10 years, and the categories have changed over the 10 years as well. So
they have absolutely. All right, so those are really the 2 rules. But Terry, you want to share kind of the rest of the details about it before we get into this?
Nominations close on November 10th at 5 p.m. Central Time, center of the universe.
That's
and
right.
This is a hard date, everybody. So no emails on November 11th saying, oh, hey, I forgot to do this nomination, or we had to do that because Aaron got inundated with emails one year.
In a 24-hour period after the nominations were closed, I got over 1,000 emails
because someone out there, an influencer out there, said, "Oh gosh, we'll just send an email to them. I'm sure they'll let us be entered into that category." Nope, sorry.
Yeah.
As my one of my professors when I was a freshman in college, he would lock the door at 8:00 and say, "The balloon leaves at 8 a.m. Be on it."
I love it. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, well, there's always next year, right? That was probably a couple of years in. So we were true to our word. 10 years, baby.
Yep. The nominee announcements. So we'll list all the nominees on November 11th, and we actually go through and mention every single nomination. So we're going to obviously go take it to the top 5 in a category. But we mention everyone that gets nominated because we think it's important that folks get recognized, even if only a couple of people were nominating them. We think it's important because it's important to our listeners. So
it is.
Yes, and voting will take place beginning December 8th at 5 p.m. Central Time, and winners will be announced on this show December 9th.
Yeah, and I that's a typo on my part.
Oh, it is a typo.
Voting will take place from November 11th and end December 8th at 5 p.m. Central Time. So sorry about that, Terry.
I'm just who's the guy in Anchorman? I just read what's on the
Ron Burgundy. What are you supposed to do, San Diego? Never mind. We won't go there. Okay. I don't want to have to edit this. Yes. So just a clarification there. Again, that's on me, guys. So nominations will happen. We'll announce those nominees. We'll start the voting there after that show on November 11th. The voting will take place for that entire month. It's about a full month there up to December 8th. And we will close off the voting at 5 p.m. Central Time on that evening. And then the next morning, so that evening at 5 p.m., if you were somebody that was in the running, watch your emails, because we're going to be emailing you and saying, hey, join us tomorrow morning. And then, so tell the folks about that, those people that are new to the Reggies, what happens on December 9th.
Well, yeah, what we like to do is as many of the winners as possible, we like to bring them on the show. So our green room gets a little full, and so we'll announce again, the 5 nominees. We'll announce the winner, and hopefully be able to bring that person or that company on the show to talk a little bit about winning the award. And we usually get quite a few of the winners, and so looking forward to talking to maybe some new winners as well. And I think, Aaron, as you mentioned this before, we've had it seems like every year we have at least one person that comes on that's new to us, and many of those folks have become friends of the show. So we like to see that as well.
Yeah, Nikki says green room shenanigans. Yeah,
yeah, it gets rowdy in there.
Yeah. Todd asked, will we be able to see the votes? Seems like there was some great back and forth with people battling for the vote. So the way that we've got it set up, and I think this is probably the most fair way to do it, is you do not see the votes until after you've voted. So after you voted, and basically your vote. And so if you go back in and change your vote, that's fine. You can change your vote up until the end, but you still only counts for one vote. So you can't make multiple votes for people. You actually have to sign into it. I think it uses a social media profile.
I think that's the Todd rule, isn't it? No,
possibly.
Sorry, Todd. I was just kidding.
So yes, good question, Todd. So after you voted, you get to see the votes, and then you can kind of watch that back and forth after you voted. So.
Very good.
All right, so I think we've got it, Terry. I think we've laid out the ground rules. I think we can now go ahead and start introducing the categories this year. And anything else that we missed?
No, I don't think so. Let's start through the list. You want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
I'll start, and then So the first category, and we've got Pilar from TRW checking in. Awesome, Pilar, good to see you. Okay, so the first category is Best New Product, and this category is for products that have made an impact on our industry in 2022. These products must have been released within the last 3 years. And the other thing is we want to make sure that they've not made the voting before. So we're going to do our best to police that. But we certainly, it's sometimes a struggle. It's like, I don't really know, and there's not information about this, so that not always enough time. But we do our best to make sure that the product has been released within the last 3 years. We discovered earlier on that there were some new products in the category that have been out for years. It's like, wait a second.
It was new to me,
Yeah. And we get it, right?
Puff ink.
Yeah. Plastisol. No, okay. So, and then the other part is that you were trying to make sure that they weren't in the running before. Again, it's all about a new product, right? What's the innovations? What are things people coming up with that are innovative and new and helping lift up the industry? We actually will be able to verify if they've been voted on before, because we've got all of the previous winners on our website. So if you just go to tworegularguys.com/garment-decorating-industry-awards, right? Just go, you'll see the Reggies up there, right? Just go to the Reggies tab, and you can kind of look.
And Aaron, one kind of cool thing about this category is over the last couple of years, with COVID going on, there weren't a lot of new things being introduced, but over this past year, I think there are going to be a lot of products to choose from as new to the industry and new and innovative in the industry. So I'm looking forward to seeing, the different products that people nominate.
Yeah, definitely. And Terry, I'm not sure if you're seeing the comments, but Todd says he does love his own rule. So we'll leave the other part off for you.
I'm sure it'll be on a shirt.
Not a bad idea, Mr. Tom Brady. Okay. Okay. So, best new product. Last year's winner was Merrily by Embrilliance. And so congratulations to those folks again, or Brian and all the good folks over there at Embrilliance for their product Merrily. I think I'm saying that right. Eric, am I saying that right? Okay, good. I got the head nod. Perfect. All right. So that's category number 1, best new product. What is category number 2, Terry?
Category number 2 is best customer service, and lists the company and person. So share a specific company, and if there's a person who stands out there, share that person as well. But a lot of times it's a company, and whenever I call and speak to one of 10 customer service people, they always help me out. So it can be just a company, but if there's a specific person at that company that you want to recognize, please enter that as well. The company and team member are customer service oriented. These companies have specific policies in place that are customer service oriented and put their customer first in our industry. So this is always a fun category, and really it's I think everybody that's ever won this award has been very appreciative of being recognized by the industry for what they do every day. And the winner last year in this category was Sublimation 101, Michael Kaminsky. And Michael is no loss for words. I think we used up about a quarter of the show chatting with Michael.
And he had an awesome jacket on too. So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So congratulations to Michael. And I agree with you, Terry. Everybody that, like you said, being recognized for what they do, right? They put their customers first. They not worried about nickeling and diming them to death, right? Charging you shipping when it's your inventory issue, those kinds of things, right? So throwing some shade at some folks, but that's okay. All right. Well, so that's best customer service. That's category number 2. Category number 3 is the best industry educator. And this category is to recognize the best educator in our industry during 2022. This is somebody who maybe writes for the industry magazines, they present seminars or webinars, or just otherwise educate people to improve our industry. And we're looking for somebody here that's really focused on education rather than kind of infomercial, right?
Correct.
Buy my product. This is, I'm educating you so you learn something. If you happen to buy my product, that's a bonus, but it's about education. Education first, Terry.
Exactly right. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I was just thinking about somebody that did seminars for Impressions Expo for one event. and the education was, well, I'm telling you why you should buy it from me. It's just a conversation I had last week in Fort Worth.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for are the people that, yes. So all about education, people that are really focused in on educating people and lifting people in the industry up through providing knowledge to them. So last year's winner, Terry, was Lori Donovan, and she is a Sawgrass product ambassador. Doesn't actually work for Sawgrass specifically, just a product ambassador for them, and does a weekly educational session on the Sawgrass products. And we actually had her on the show after the fact as well, not only just for the Reggies. So really doing some cool things. So congratulations again to Lori.
Absolutely. Well, category number 4 is best podcast or online education. This category is to recognize a podcast, online blog, video platform, virtual event, training sessions, or other online platforms that provide the best educational content in our industry. If it is education on the internet, it fits in this category. And, Aaron, last year's winner was, are you ready? The Two Regular Guys.
I think I have it. Let's see. Right there. There it is.
There's the award. Right?
There it is, right there. So yeah, that was we were shocked, and we were very grateful for that opportunity to be recognized. But it is like Terry said. If it's education on the internet, it certainly fits in that category. So we're interested to see what's out there and what people are learning from, and yeah. So.
And Aaron, again with COVID, there's going to be a lot to choose from because there was lots and lots and lots of education going on out there via the internet. So, when you were sitting at home because you couldn't go to the grocery store, tell us who you were listening to, what you were listening to.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that was number 4, Best Podcaster Online Education. Number 5 is the Best Industry Trade Show. We didn't have that in 2020, and we all know why, right? It actually came back last year, and so we're excited, right? We're excited to be able to, because I know that in our industry, the hands-on trade shows, if they die, that will be a terrible thing, because the fact is we need to be able to get out there, touch and feel, actually see the machine in action, get right there, right? Being able to learn from video and stuff like that is all great. But I think to make a real good purchasing decision, especially on equipment and blanks and things like that, right, we've got to be able to touch them. We're in a tactile industry, right? Yeah. So I need to know, how does this shirt feel, right? What does the printing on it feel like? And so this category is all about, that event, this trade show event, that kind of recognize that in-person event that best supports, educates, and provides networking for the decorators community in 2022. Right. So,
exactly.
So this is the other important part is this is in person. Right. I think the virtual events are great, but what we're looking for are in-person events. Right.
Right.
So.
Exactly. And Aaron, it's been kind of some of the trade shows that have come back. There's certainly, for all of us, it was Old Home Week, getting to see friends we haven't seen in a couple of years. But some of the attendance was a little tepid. But I have to tell you, and I'm sure Eric will agree with me, the event, the Impressions Expo in Fort Worth last week, my first seminar, I had 50 plus people. I mean, I lost track because of how many people are in the room. And I know that Eric had some great attendance as well. And along those lines, and when I went into the trade show floor, it was just packed. So, it's that's good news as well. And what you were talking about, you want to touch and feel. Look how many people have entered this industry over the past 3 years. When I asked for a show of hands of who's attending their first trade show, 75% of the people raised their hand. And so those folks can't, go online and say, well, hey, I know what a sublimation printer looks like. I know what I'm looking for. I know what a 100% polyester printed garment looks like. These folks don't. They have not had that experience where they get to go and see all the different machines and supplies and garments and products. So this is incredibly important.
Yeah, definitely incredibly important. David Haynes says Charlotte was packed too. Definitely was a very well attended show out there. So last year's winner, Terry, was Applique Getaway, and so really congratulations. I think Christine's still in here, and Christine is the outreach marketing coordinator for Applique Getaway, and now they've got a virtual event coming up here, but they also do some great in-person events. Christine will have to give us some more details on that. I didn't go look beforehand, but and some
of the votes they got, obviously, because it's the greatest trade show name of all time, the Applique Getaway.
Absolutely true, Terry. All right, so that was number 5. Terry, what is number 6, sir?
Number 6 is most influential up and comer in the industry. So this category is to recognize the under 40 crowd in our industry. So I'm not going to be eligible. Aaron, I know you still are. But
No, I am not.
just kidding.
If it was under 50, I'd sneak in there. But
all right. This nominee should exemplify all the positive aspects of garment and product decoration. Before nominating, please be sure the person is in fact under 40. So again, this is a fun one for us because this, another opportunity usually for us to meet somebody new in the industry. So we like this category a lot. And this was one that wasn't in the original categories, I believe. I think we added this on somewhere along the line
I think
over the 10 years.
For a number of years, we were at 7, and then this one got added, a couple other ones. So for sure,
right. Well, the winner last year was Crystal Ball from the Rhinestone World, and the Rhinestone World has been a regular winner in multiple categories over the past 10 years. So we appreciate everything they do. And Matt Vassallo over at the Rhinestone World does some awesome work and a great educator, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. And, Terry, we will ask, right? We try to ask. We try to kind of, again, verify if they're under 40. But, we don't check driver's licenses. So just do your best, right? Again, this all comes back to just take a little bit of effort, put a little bit more into it than just, oh, so-and-so I follow on the internet said to come register, right? So now, unfortunately, probably those folks are not listening to this particular.
That's true.
But if you are an influencer that's sharing out there, just ask them to take a little bit of effort and follow the rules. All these things are very clearly spelled out on the nomination form too. So, yeah. All right. So let's see here. We're going to get to number 7. Christine said the virtual Getaway starts November 15th and runs through February 5th of next year. And there will also be a live event in 2023. We're still finalizing dates. So you can find all that information over there at appliquegetaway.com. Crystal says, I appreciate the opportunity very much. Yeah, it was super cool to get to meet Crystal on the REGGIE last year, Terry. She's a really awesome person. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Pilar said Crystal was new to TRW before we hired and hit the ground running to learn about our company and puts her heart and soul into helping our customers. So congrats, Crystal. And Pilar, congrats on that great hire. So, all right. Okay, so we're at 7, right, Terry?
We are at number 7.
Okay, number 7.
This is an opportunity for you to do a great last name.
I didn't look at the numbers before I decided who would go first. Darn it. No, but I practiced already. All right. So number 7 is the Women in Garment Decorating Award. We created this based on the quarterly show of the same name. And that quarterly show came about with much support from Christine Shreve, who's been a longtime supporter of Two Regular Guys and has a Facebook group of the same name, Women in Garment Decorating. So you need to go check that out if you are a female and would like to get with other like-minded. Obviously, I'm not in the community, but my wife is, and she tells me it's an amazing and supportive community. So this award is meant to recognize the person who's doing the most to raise the profile of women in the industry. So it's that Women in Garment Decorating Award. Last year's winner, Terry, was Nikki Ademkowitz. And it was great to recognize Nikki and all the things that she's doing to lift up women in the industry. And so Nikki says it was an honor. So
absolutely. And a great show participant as well.
Yeah, so, exactly. Christine says, well, let me. I was laughing at Todd's comment first. Todd says, if you break a rule as far as the Reggies, you will end up in a chapter of Christine's book about equipment killing people. So, and then Christine says, I am so proud of the Women in Garment Decorating Award. The fact that it exists makes me so happy. Good.
That's awesome.
Thank you for helping us make that a thing here and allowing two guys to be supportive of the women in our industry. So, all right, Terry, let's get to number 8 here, sir.
All right. Number 8 is Most Inspirational Decorators Community Member. So this is anyone in the industry who has shown their ability to step above the fighting, debating, commiserating, and lead with encouragement, motivation, and inspiration. Group leaders or moderators, or just those who are always uplifting. There's folks that are in different like Facebook groups and things like that when somebody asks a question, they come back with a positive response and try to help inspire and motivate. So you don't have to have your own group. You can just be one of those people that's out there participating and lifting people up in our industry, because it's easy. You go to a lot of groups where folks are, you ask a question and the response is, well, that was a stupid question. Nobody needs that.
Yeah, that doesn't help anybody.
Exactly right. And there's so many people out there who just go to these groups just to see if they can help someone. And that's who we're talking about. And last year's winner, and here is my opportunity as well, Nikki Ademkowitz.
There you go. There you go. Congratulations, Nikki, once again as the 2021 winner of that award. And Todd says, as the inaugural winner, I love this category. When you give back, everybody wins. And
Exactly
Nikki
right.
shared, I work hard to be a true community with the power of positivity. Yeah, yes, she does. So it's been great to get to know Nikki a little bit more since all that too. So I actually have had an opportunity to meet her in person, and she's going to be hanging out with us there at the Two Regular Guys podcast booth at the Printing United Expo. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. And all right. Well, are we ready for number 9 here, Terry?
We are.
All right.
We might possibly end close to on time. Look at us.
I know. I can stretch it out, but let's.
Oh, I know.
Hey, when I was solo, I actually was right on time. So anyway.
Really? Weird. So maybe it's both of us.
There could be something else. You and I playing off each other. I don't know. Huh. We should have started a podcast. Oh, wait, we did. Okay. Okay, number 9, best guest on the Two Regular Guys podcast. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but we want to recognize the guest on the Two Regular Guys podcast that provided the most information, and that the information helped your business. It was entertaining, right? So we've had some fantastic guests. We've been blessed over these 10 years. But what we're looking for is people in 2022, people that have been on the show in 2022 with us here. I know the people that are coming on later, right? If you, it's okay, right? In fact, we'll do this, Terry. If there's anybody that was on October of 2021 or later, right? So last 12-month period, they are eligible to be a Best Guest Award winner. And so again, it's about people that are providing helpful information, and it's fun to listen to, right? So
yeah, exactly right. I mean, sometimes a lot of our really great shows have been very informational, but also a lot of fun. So, and I would recommend, if you can't quite remember, go back to tworegularguys.com and just kind of cursor through the list of shows all of in our archive, and maybe you'll see one go, oh yeah, I remember that show. I loved that show.
Yeah, definitely. And you just head over to tworegularguys.com. We're all up to date through last week's show, and you, like Terry said, you can just peruse back. You can even actually listen to the show right on the webpage. There's a big button that says listen live, and you just listen right there. The other thing that we would love for you to do while you're over there at tworegularguys.com is you will see the different podcast players and whatnot. Terry mentioned this a little earlier in the show, but if you wouldn't mind giving us a review, and you can just click on it right there and give us a review, wherever you might listen to, even if you're not a podcast listener, so to speak, and you're always catching it live, just go over there and give us a review anyways. Just pretend, right? We're okay. You're listening, you get it. And so, yeah, the best guest on the Two Regular Guys podcast. Last year's winner, Terry, was two gentlemen, actually, the embroidery nerds, Justin and Jeff over there from the Embroidery Nerds. So we had a great time talking to those guys, and they brought a lot of great information as well.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, Terry, before you get to number 10 here, Nikki did say, I can't wait to meet Terry. So,
all right. Well, I will be there, and
he
so
will be
I'm
there.
looking forward to meeting you as well in person. I feel like I know you already.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. And he is a pretty great guy. I will give him that. So,
Well, gosh.
all right, Terry, let's wrap this up. What's number 10 here, sir?
Okay, number 10, Best Ambassador for the Industry. This category is to recognize someone who represents the industry within and without and exemplifies all the positive aspects of garment and product decoration. So, again, this one, I believe, Aaron, came along later. And we're pretty excited about the whole concept of this, because there are people in this industry that are motivational, inspirational, and make us as an industry better. So we were pretty excited to add this one in. And last year's winner of Best Ambassador for the Industry was our own Eric Campbell.
Excellent. Congratulations, Eric. Yep. He's given the rah-rah. So good job, sir. Terry, this category, like you said, it was one that we brought on later. The idea kind of started in my mind too. Back then it was SGIA. They kind of had like a lifetime achievement type award. I can't remember the name of it. What was like a Swordstone or something like that?
Yeah, it's escaping me. I'll remember it. But
okay.
yeah, and it wasn't every year either. It was just kind of random.
Correct. And so we felt like, we needed to have, this is again kind of the I don't know, what is it? The Best Picture Award at the Academy Awards is kind of like the big one, right? And this is our big one. This is our Best Picture Award. Who is that person that really is, put a lifetime of effort into growing and raising up the industry, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean they have to be seasoned veterans per se, but it's somebody that, again, it's about lifting up the industry. All of the things that they do, all of the decisions that they make are just exemplifying that positive aspects of things in what Terry talked about there. So, I'm super glad that we put that one in there. And congratulations again to Eric, Terry. So.
All right. Absolutely. So those are our 10 categories.
I was just going
to say we're up and ready on the website, correct?
We are up and ready on the website. So if you'll go to tworegularguys.com/Reggies, or you can hit the bit.ly there, bit.ly/RG10nom. And there's also, for those live listeners, there's a QR code up in the top right for you to scan, and it'll take you right over there. There you go. Perfect, Terry. Look at you.
Had to think about it for a second.
I know. It is a little bit hard. You go, wait a second, it's opposite of what I'm seeing. All right. So two things, Terry. One, well, let's do this first. Would you go back and just hit all 10, just read off all 10 categories for us real
absolutely. Quick? Absolutely. We get back to the top here. Number 1, best new product. Number 2, best customer service. That's either company or person or both. Number 3, best industry educator. Number 4, best podcast or online education. Number 5, best industry trade show. Number 6, most influential up-and-comer in the industry, 40 or under. Number 7, Women in Garment Decorating Award. Number 8, most inspirational decorators community member. Number 9, best guest on Two Regular Guys podcast. And number 10, best ambassador for the industry. Those are our 10 categories.
Yep, definitely. All right. So those are our 10 categories. I should have grabbed it earlier, but the winners will receive, I kind of already pointed to it right up here. They're going to receive a plaque. They also get the coveted mug. We try to change up the mug every year, but this was last year's mug that they get. And then last year, our success group, my company, we started kind of supporting this as well to kind of make it a little bit more. So this year, our success group, we're going to give 2 things away to the winners. And here's the thing. A lot of winners, are distributors or other people, so they might not need our success group services or whatnot. So we said you can either use them yourself, or you can give it away to one of your community members. And so last year we gave away a training program that we did. This year, and this is just a mock-up of it right now, but I will have it done by the time the Reggies are awarded. You will get a hard copy of my book, the Fundamentals of Business Success. And we will also give away, we talked about that Unlocking Your Potential workshop in the ad earlier today. And so the winners will also receive a ticket into one of those workshops as well. And again, they can use it themselves, or they can give it away to one of their community members. So
awesome.
Those are our awards last year. And then one other thing to close up, but let's hit a couple questions or comments here real quick. Eric says, Eric here, thanks again, everyone. As a 2-time winner on this one, it means more than you know that people value the work. So, and then Frank said, it was well deserved, Eric. I totally agree. And then lastly, Terry, so those of you that, are regular listeners, our regulators here, you'll probably recognize that there weren't a whole lot of changes this year from last year. We made some pretty wholesale changes last year with the rules and stuff like that. But
Right.
We are always open to the feedback. We're always open to your suggestions, to, if there's new categories. Our ideal is to keep it in the 10 category range. So, if we need to update one or replace it, we kind of ended up combining a couple together, whatever.
Right.
That's what this is all about. Again, as Terry and I talked about at the beginning, this is your guys' awards. We're just the platform to bring it, right? So if whatever suggestions, just reach out to us, info@tworegularguys.com. You can put a comment on any of the videos or anything like that. So just let us know what feedback you have. Actually, in the nomination form, the last open field there is just give us your feedback. Anything else that you want to share or add, and if it's pertinent, we will share it on the show when we announce the winners there in November. So
Exactly right. Awesome.
all right, Terry. Anything else, or you think we covered it?
I think we've covered it all, and I think I'm pretty excited. The REGGIE Awards get more exciting every year, and just to comment, the first year we were like, I wonder if people will participate, and we were stunned at the number of people that agreed with us that there needed to be awards from the people, by the people, for the people.
For the people. I figured you were going there. Awesome. All right. So what is happening for you, sir, coming up here in the not so distant future?
All right. My Terry Combs Complete Screen Printing Business Course coming up next, Atlas Screen Supply in Chicago, November 5th and 6th. I'll be at Workhorse Products in Phoenix, December 10th and 11th. I'm going to have some interesting announcements for 2023 when it comes to my class coming up. And then October 12th at 7 p.m. Central, Center of the Universe time, I will be with OSG talking scheduling and estimating production time. And then watch for all my upcoming events at terrycombs.com. All my screen printing classes so far for 2023, at least for Chicago and Phoenix, are now posted. So through the end of 2023. So go over there and look and see if there's a class you might want to sign up for. I think Chicago is filling up fast, as well as the Phoenix class. So if you're looking for a screen printing class, sign up soon. How about you, Aaron? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so we've talked about Printing United and that happening in Las Vegas in just a couple weeks, October 19th through the 21st, so you will see us there. That's the next place where I will be out in the world, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Just, chilling on the blow-up couch. So, no, it's going to be I'm bringing my walking shoes. If you're going to be there, bring your walking shoes. If you haven't looked at the show floor map, it is enormous,
it's
right?
Huge. It's huge.
And I want to try to
first
get
show
out
in
there.
3 years, so
Yeah, exactly. Very, very huge. Good point, Terry. So that's coming up. And then at the end of this month, October 28th and 29th, I've got the new and improved Grow Your Business Effortlessly workshop. If you guys remember me talking about that back in July, we did the first one of those. And so kind of backed by popular demand. It's a complete business and strategic planning workshop. That's now a 2-day course, 2 90-minute sessions, so 3 hours of total information. And we're just going to talk about actionable strategic business planning tools. There's going to be a workbook, and we're going to get into kind of the 5 key areas to focus on in your business. And the great part about this workshop, Terry, is it doesn't matter if you're a 6 to 7 figure a year company with employees, or if you're just a startup solopreneur trying to get your business off the ground. I know for a fact that this workshop will create positive change. So if you'll head over to oursuccessgroup.com/grow, you can check out all of the details and get registered. We will have limited seating available for said workshop. I want to make sure that we get one-on-one. I just can't have too many people in the Zoom room and feel like I'm giving them all the best value. So, first come, first serve there for sure. oursuccessgroup.com/grow. And then real quick before we share Eric's stuff, Terry, and I can go ahead and share that. But Justin had a question. I think it's a good one. I want to make sure we get to it. He says a little late. One question: can people be nominated that were nominated and or won last year? Absolutely, 100%. The only category that where we didn't want previous was the new products, right? Because it is new product, really. Even though we're allowing that new product to be out in the last 3 years, if we've already kind of been able to recognize that new product, but everything else, all the rest of the categories, we have people that have won multiple times. Eric was a multiple time ambassador winner, and we've had people that have been nominated a bunch of times and have not won, or finally won, right? It's kind of the Steve Young, get the monkey off the back for the football fans out there.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, so thank you for that great question, Justin. Much appreciated. All right, let's get Eric's, and then we'll get on out of here, Terry. So Eric has got coming up here. He's got the Take Up. This week's episode is episode 130, the most common machine embroidery file edits. He'll be sharing the most common editing he's done on existing embroidery files, when and how much he will replace, and how to see potential problems before you get to a decision on the machine. So I guess not in quotes necessarily, but highlight the before you get the design on the machine. And so it's going to be a great one. If you want to head over to ericcampbell.com, you can just click on the Take Up tab. It's the Take Up tab that's up in the top menu, and you'll get the full playlist there. But make sure you join him live 2:30 Mountain Time, if I remember my times correctly. I'm always working in center of the universe time, but for those of you that Mountain Time there, 2:30 Mountain Time today, join Eric for the Take Up. Also, in just about a little more than 20 minutes, join Eric and I for the half coming up. You can just right here at Live OSG, or you can find us through ericschannels.com, ericcampbell.com, excuse me. All right, Terry. Well, I think we got it. What Todd had a comment in there. He says, Todd says, love that OSG has helped so many people grow their business. It's been amazing to watch. So, yeah, Todd, awesome. A big, huge part of that. So, that platform for me has been fantastic. So, thank you. All right, Terry. Anything else? I think we've closed it. So let's make sure that people start making those REGGIE nominations. Just go to tworegularguys.com. I will have a banner on there a little bit later this afternoon. But if you click on REGGIE, you can see REGGIE nominations right there. Or you can just go directly to the bit.ly link that Eric's got here, bit.ly/RG10NOM. Or if you're watching live, just pick up your phone, scan that QR code, and you are good to go. Right above Terry there. Thank you, sir. You make a great
now I'm
Vanna
just showing off.
Yeah, exactly. You make a fantastic Vanna White, though, Terry. You can just flip those letters. All right. Yeah. Well, so we've done it, Terry.
Okay, very good. We also want to thank our show producer, multiple REGGIE Award winner, Eric Campbell, for all that he does to make this thing run smoothly.
Yes, he does. It showed when he wasn't around. So we love him. Thank you, Eric. And next week, Terry, we do have Jenna Sackett, who's the brand activation manager with Stalls. She's going to be joining us. Can't wait to chat with her. And so tune in. Jenna is always a wealth of information, and she's going to be bringing some great nuggets here to the regulators, to you guys, the regulators. So I'm looking forward to that, Terry.
Me as well. But until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And we are the Two Regular Guys.
Here we go.
We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.